Welcome to Hey, It's Carly Rae's Book Club. This is Book Hour, where authors will talk their latest novels, reveal their writing process, and play some fun book games. I'm your host, Carly Rae. Today we have Sophia DeCensi, editor at the Parliament House Press and founder of Fic Monster, a novel writing software. Today we're going to be talking about all things editing, from why we need editing to the different stages of editing. We'll also find out more about Fic Monster and what inspired her to launch her own novel writing software. We'll dive in right after this. Welcome, Sophia. I'm so excited to have you on Book Hour.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, tell us where you're joining us from.
I'm from Florida. We're in Jupiter, Florida right now. It's on the southern east coast.
Now, you are an editor at the Parliament House Press. Tell us what it's like being an editor.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It was definitely my dream to be an editor and help other authors bring their work to publication. And our house specifically publishes young adult speculative fiction, which is my specialty. So I love it. It's been great so far. I actually I graduated in January and I applied for this job in November, right before that, January. So I've been doing it for almost a year and it's been great.
Now, what is the most common mistake or most common part of a novel that always needs extra editing?
I would say for sure the prose. That's definitely like my specialty. I do a lot of like line editing with each project I work on. So I notice a lot of telling as usual. That's like something cliche, but it's honestly like the biggest mistake I see. And filter words, that's a big thing that authors like struggle with a little bit, but it's fun. It's really fun to like watch them grow through each revision.
Now, do you read a lot, or like where do you get your inspiration when you go through a book?
Yes, I'm always reading. I usually listen to an audiobook and I have a Kindle book and then sometimes a physical book, but I've kind of like moved more towards like the digital versions recently just because it's easier to like travel with and everything. But I'm also always reading a craft book. So that helps like keep me fresh and make sure that I'm catching all the little mistakes, and making sure like the prose are as polished as they possibly be. So I continue to try to, learn and grow myself so that I can be a better editor.
Now, is there a favorite part of editing you enjoy most?
I really love working on the line edits, actually. It's a little bit more nitpicky, so it takes me longer. I was like calculating and talking to some of my other editor friends recently about this because it takes me about an hour per 10 pages, which is like very slow, but I really like go through it with like a fine-tooth comb to make sure everything's perfect. But I think that's like the most enjoyable is like once you already have like the story really there and then just watching like the prose grow and enhance the story, because there's so much you can do just, with description and each of your lines to really like make it so much more powerful. So that's probably the part I love most.
Now, you recently graduated, as you said, with a master's in fine arts and writing popular fiction. So you always wanted to be an editor from the start. Is that right?
Yes. And a writer. I've always wanted to write as well. But yeah, I think even I'm not currently published right now, novel wise. I've published like short fiction and nonfiction. But yeah, I think no matter what, I'll always still be an editor because I just love like working and helping other authors grow.
Now, for aspiring authors watching, tell them why editing is so important in the writing process.
It is really important. And when I was like a young writer just getting started in undergrad, I didn't know much about the process. And I just assumed, you write a first draft and then, your editor just takes care of everything. But, becoming an editor myself and going through like more education, I realized that it is so important to have a strong base yourself as the writer and to try to catch those problems as much as possible, because the author or the editor, they can't write the book for you. You know, they can help you and guide you, but ultimately it's your choice if you want to accept those edits. So I think it is really important to be able to self-edit as much as possible and really be strong in those elements on your own, because then you're going to get the most out of your editor.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. You heard Sophia talk all things editing. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll find out more about Fic Monster.
Thank you for choosing Three Brothers Wineries. I'm Erica Policelli. I'm one of the partners here at the winery, and I want to tell you a little bit more about our estate. We were founded in 2006 by Dave and Luann Mansfield. We have 40 acres of grapevines, a fully operational farm. All of the wines you're tasting today are from our farm. We have 2 female winemakers, Kim Marconi and Paige Vinson. On our campus, we actually have 3 wineries and a microbrewery. We have an extensive portfolio of not only wine, but also beer, hard cider, wine spritzers, and wine slushy, all manufactured here on site. When we opened our doors in 2007, we had a modest staff of 10. We've grown to employ 40 full-time and 100 part-time employees. We pride ourselves on creativity, innovation, and our company culture. When you make a purchase from Three Brothers Wineries or Warhorse Brewing, you're supporting a majority women-owned small business, and we thank you for that.
Welcome back to Book Hour. I'm your host, Carly Ray, here with Sophia DeCensi. Now, Sophia, you aren't just an editor, you're also writing a novel and just launched your own novel writing software, Fic Monster. Tell us how you came up with the idea.
So I came up with this idea when I was in my grad program. And one of the biggest struggles I had was sending my work back and forth between my mentor and my critique partners, because I had to like export documents and then send them over email. And that became really frustrating, because then I had like a bunch of different documents of the same manuscript on my computer, and then you're confused of which one's the latest, you know? So I wanted to find an easier way to do that without having to manipulate the documents as much. So one of the big things with Fic is that you can make the novel format easy with one click of a button. You don't have to continuously like retouch things. And we'll have aspects of the software where you can just directly send to your editor, critique partner, agent, whoever, right from the software. So you never actually have to leave the software if you don't want to. But you can also import and export very easily. And when you import, any document will recognize chapters, scenes, different things, and it automatically formats everything for you perfectly. So yeah, I was just really struggling with like the current softwares out there. And my fiance is a software developer. So we were kind of like the perfect match to create something that we believe is going to be even better and really help writers.
Now, there are other novel writing softwares out there. So how does Fic Monster differ from those?
Well, our mantra is that we want it to be intuitive and inspirational. So we want it to be as easy on the user as possible, with as the least amount of buttons you have to click or things you have to do manually. Everything is going to be as automatic as possible so that it's very easy. And we're not going to have like tons of buttons and things like that to kind of like distract the writer while she's writing, or he, so that they can just focus on the actual story. And also inspiration is a very big part. So we use a lot of bright colors, and we try to make it as fun as possible so that you enjoy writing, you know, because it's already such a struggle, you know, so we want something that's going to make it fun for you and feel almost like a game, you know. We have even an aspect that allows you to do sprints from the software. So you can click sprint and it'll open up the full screen. And then when you hit your goal, whether it's time or word count, you'll get like a little congratulations button. And Fic, he's always there. So I think he helps, like, he makes it fun, and he's like your little like cheerleader while you write.
Yeah, because writing can be like, you know, you do it on your own. Like, you know, you need someone there.
Yeah, it's so solitary. So that's why I wanted to make it as colorful and bright so that you don't feel like as lonely. You know, I think a lot of the current softwares are very like mechanical, and they don't really like add anything to your creativity. So I think if you're writing on a software that promotes creativity, you'll get the best out of your writing.
Now, will it also go through it? Like, so you were saying like on filter words, does Fic Monster go through and say, hey, you're messing up this section or you need to rewrite it?
We will have metadata in there to help with that. We also will have sections where you can track your POVs so that you'll see, okay, maybe I have a bunch of chapters in this section, all in one POV and less POVs in the other one, you know. So you can look at it and think, okay, so I've only have maybe like 5 in this POV. So do I even need this character narrating these chapters, or should I make it more equal and go back and add scenes, you know, or revise that scene to be in a different POV where it might be more beneficial to the story. So yeah, we do have quite a few of those little things in there that I think make it kind of fun and different than other softwares as well.
Now, for those that don't know the logo, it's an orange monster, which is behind Sophia. So I'm curious, why the monster for your mascot?
So the monster was inspired by a couple different things. One of them was just the word genius. Originally, it was thought of as like a noun, as in the creative person had a genius inside of them that gave them ideas. And when I first heard that, that really like stuck with me. I was like, that's so interesting, you know, because as creators, it's like, where do your ideas come from, you know? So I wanted him to be like your little creative genius and your little writer buddy that's always with you. And he's there to like support you and give you inspiration. And he's really cute too. And then the monster element was from something Susan Dennard actually talks about, where she, when she's struggling in a certain scene, she like refers to those like internal editors or the self-doubt as her like little monsters. So I was thinking, okay, what if I went the opposite with that? And he's a monster that feeds you good ideas and inspiration. So that's kind of the story behind him.
Now, its signature color is orange. So is that your favorite color?
Or pink is actually my favorite color. As you can probably see on all my social media, I'm very like pink and girly. But the reason I chose orange to be Fick's signature color is because of color theory, and that we don't often see the color orange in nature very often. So when you do see it, it causes you to stop, and it catches your attention. So I wanted that. And also it's an inspiring color. You know, it promotes creativity and gets your mind working where it might otherwise not, because you don't see that color as often.
Yeah. Now, for people that want to be like on Fick Monster, is this going to be like a membership thing for them to sign up with?
Yes. We are hopefully launching the beta in early next year, and we'll have the full software launched in 2022. We don't have an exact date, but hopefully very soon. But right now we do have the website up with our little like teaser web page, and you'll see Fick and some other illustrations there. It's very fantasy oriented, colorful. So it gets you inspired and excited. And that's just www.fickthemonster.com. And you can sign up early and get some little updates as we push things.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Stay tuned, because when we come back, we'll be finding out if Sophia would rather make her own pumpkin spice latte or get one from Starbucks. Welcome back. It's game time. Now, Sophia, the first game we're going to play is Would You Rather. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you get to answer them.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is, would you rather go to Rome or London?
Rome. I'm Italian, so I think Rome. And I'm also, I'm learning Italian right now.
How's that going?
It's going well. Actually, one of my writer friends, she recently just got agented, and they're on submission right now to find an editor. She lives in Italy, and she's teaching me Italian. So we have like Zoom sessions every once in a while.
Yeah. All right. Second one. Would you rather make your own pumpkin spice latte or get one from Starbucks?
I think I'd rather make my own, honestly. I'm not a huge Starbucks person, which is probably like surprising because I look like I might be, but I actually prefer Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of those in South Florida.
We do, yeah.
All right, the third one. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible if you had a superpower?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd say be invisible. I'm afraid of heights, so I don't know if I would actually be very good at flying.
All right, number 4. Would you rather only be able to text with emojis or never text again?
Text with emojis.
Now, what's your favorite emoji?
I use the smiley one with the little hands all the time, and the sparkle.
Yeah. All right, and the last one, would you rather be royal 1,000 years ago or be average today?
Oh, that's so difficult. I think I'd rather be average today, just because I don't know if I would enjoy the fame of that and all the pressure that comes with that. Everyone like knows your business, you know?
Yeah. Well, they didn't have social media 1,000 years ago.
No, well, that's true. Yeah, everything moved a lot slower back then.
All right, the next game we are going to play is Table Topics. So I'm going to ask you hypothetical questions, and you're going to answer them.
Okay.
So the first one is, if you were a transformer, what vehicle would you turn into?
A vehicle. Maybe a Tesla? I don't know.
Second one, if you were a food, what food would you be?
Birthday cake. That's my favorite food.
Number 3, if you could make any animal have wings, what animal would you pick?
Oh, a cat for sure. I've seen so many like artworks on that on Pinterest. I think that's so cute.
Number 4, what sci-fi movie or book do you wish was in existence right now?
A sci-fi book would be a movie?
Or a sci-fi movie or book that you could like make up, like a concept. What do you wish was in existence that isn't?
Actually, I was talking to my fiance about this recently, and I was thinking it would be interesting to have like a sci-fi where everyone wore, you know, like the world is like different now, you know, especially because like the masks and stuff. So I took that like a step further with maybe like we have like screens over our face, you know, because we're already like, you know, so enamored by like social media and technology. So you go out and you maybe like the person only sees like a filtered version of you, or it could be like a character instead of just like your normal face. So I feel like it's kind of like, you know, a metaphor for where we're going in the world and our technology.
Yeah. Number 5, what movie-worthy heist would you pull off if you knew you could get away with it?
Oh gosh, I would probably not get away with any, honestly, but I haven't seen the new Ocean's 11 that was like female version, but I did like the concept of them being like, you know, like diamond stealers. Like, I think that would be really cool.
So go for the diamonds.
Yeah, go for the diamonds.
Well, that concludes game time. Sophia, thank you so much for joining Book Hour. Before I let you go, tell viewers where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Sophia Decency on Instagram, and I'm Decency Sophia on Twitter.
Well, there you have it. Sophia handles are in the description below. Sophia, thank you so much for joining Book Hour. And for those watching, I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was so much fun.